witchy people. Yes, Buckley, my poor Buckley. He got a bad pawpaw. Haven't you? You've got a bad pawpaw. He's not happy because we had to bind it all up to stop him chewing his pawpaw, didn't we? Is it? But oh yes, Mummy loves you too. So he's staying here with me for a little while, aren't you? He doesn't really want to. He wants to be down there. Okay. Next set of questions on the hashtag What's Your Craft? Actually, I've got them written up here. So, hashtag What's Your Craft questions 21 to 25, and I haven't actually looked at these yet. So it's I've kind of done this in the way that I haven't looked at the questions first, so don't get a chance to think. Okay, question 21. Spell language. Do you like it simple? Do you dress it up? Is it poetry? Is it silent? Depends. I like it simple. Do I dress it up sometimes? Is it poetry? Doesn't have to be, but it usually is. Is it silent? Sometimes it has to be. So all of it really. Glasses. I think it really does depend on what spell you're doing and even who you're doing it with, I suppose. But for me, usually alone. I think it's always been alone. So he's so unimpressed. Okay, next question. Should have kept my glasses on. 22. Do you keep a book of shadows or a grimoire? I do. I call it a grimoire. It's just a huge reference book for me. You know, I don't call it a book of shadows because I'm not a Wiccan, and I actually do refer it to just as my book or the book. But I do keep spells in there, and I don't mind sharing, but it is sort of private. I don't keep it out on show anymore. So, but yes, I do have what you might call a grimoire. Okay, question 23. Do you have an altar? We know the answer to this one. Is it dedicated to any specific deity, season, anything? I do have an altar. It's an altar box because it's used, yes, Barclay, it's used as a storage box for everything else. Hedge witches tend not to have altars. Stop sniffing the microphone. They tend not to have altars because they don't have offerings to deities because we don't have deities. My actual altar itself, it's something I painted. Oh, I painted it myself, and that kind of makes it special. But I do keep a lot of my witchy bits in there. So a lot of my cards are in there, sort of oracle cards, fortune cards, tarot cards, crystals, shells. All my wands are in there, candles, bells, Bolene, athame. A lot of these things I don't actually need. Being a hedge witch, I don't need them. I just like them. So yes, I do have an altar, but it's not really used as an altar because hedge witches don't really have that. Yeah, it's much more useful for us to have a storage box. So I have an altar box. Okay, question 24. Thoughts on afterlife? Thoughts on afterlife? I try not to. Of course, I have to. My very practice is built on my phone. My very practice is built on communicating with the spirit world. So therefore, I do think there is an afterlife. I don't think it's for everyone. I could get really complicated. I hope when I die, I just, they burn me up, and then whatever energy is left of me goes out into the ether and joins in with a whole load of other energies, and I need never come back down again. I don't, yeah, I think there is an afterlife, in that we do have ghosts and spirits, but it's not a permanent thing, and it's not, I don't think everyone becomes a ghost, if you like. I hope that kind of explains it. You know, I can't really explain any better than that. I should have really checked these questions before I started reading them. Okay, question 25. Do or would you teach and practice witchcraft to your children? That's a difficult one. I brought up my children being very open about my craft, but I didn't teach them. They quite often, and have done, I don't do card readings on my children because I don't do them on children. But as they've got older, they just haven't asked me to do it. But they do refer friends and colleagues to have readings. They have asked me to do spell work for them, make tinctures and medicines for them. So I haven't raised them as witches because, yeah, to do that, to raise them in the way that I'm a witch, I would have to raise them, you know, like I said, witchcraft and being a witch, it's the same thing. I'd have to raise them as a witch. And much as my parents were the same with me, I would like them to choose their own path in life and don't want to influence them. So they know what I am and they see me practice and they do refer other people to me, but it's not, and it's something they have been raised with, but they haven't been specifically raised to be witches. So there you go. That is questions 21 to 25 in the hashtag WhatsYourCraft. Barclay is now sulking. So I'm going to go now. Thank you for watching, witchy people. Bye for now. Say bye-bye, Barclay. Say bye-bye, Barclay.